The only thing fake about me is my personality. I may be quiet, but I'm also a bitch.
I like my pot stirred and my espresso martinis shaken. The real twins of Twinfluenced. Real Housewives Recap Edition. First, let's start. Thank you guys all for joining us. First, we want to start and go through whether Timmy you liked the episode or not this week. This episode 3 or 4?
4.
Oh.
I did like it, kinda. I felt like it was a weird mix of like a filler episode, but also there was like still like drama happening and like sit downs and all these things. But you felt like it was a good episode. I kind of feel like we're starting to rehash the same stuff at this point. But overall I felt it was fine.
I felt like the episode was boring and I didn't really enjoy it. It had no
What was
substance.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt like a lot happened, but nothing worth really breaking down.
I like it with like when they go do things, not when they are like at a 2 second lunch or like even like the dinner party or whatever, like the birthday party. And that was a whole nothing burger. Nothing came of that.
Yeah, when they extended it, I felt like they
That
could
could have
have,
just been one episode because they extended it just to end it.
right, they could have, everything they included at the beginning of the episode, they could have included at the end of last episode, I
Yeah,
think.
I agree because and so with the Katie thing and her husband speaking up, how do you feel about that?
I think that it's fine. I'm glad he spoke up and said something because I'm sure it's frustrating for him that she's even on the show because she doesn't seem to be enjoying it. And I don't think he was rude at all. I think he was just over it. And so I think,
Well,
Tam
my issue with it is like this is a reality TV show and like your wife is on this show, so let them have like a dramatic conversation. Don't like end it short because you're mad. Like this isn't your show, guy.
that but she was leaving. She was actively leaving because she had already done a dramatic confrontation that he didn't intervene for. And he didn't even say anything to Shannon or anyone else. And the root of it
Well, and I
was
think it's
because
wrong to blame Tamra for this because it
no,
was
it's
not
not.
Tamra that brought up. Tamra didn't bring it up. Gina brought it up at the lunch.
Because
She said,
she knew
"You brought it up
Tamara
at my
told
lunch
Gina.
where I was apologizing to these girls." But she didn't. It was Gina that brought it up at the lunch. Tamara told them, but Gina brought it up. Tamara
But
didn't
she
choose to
knew
bring it
Gina
up
was
at the
going to bring it
lunch.
up. She knew Gina was going to bring it up.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
That is 100% true. She knew that Gina was going to bring it up. That's why she told her, because she knew that Gina would say something, because Gina was the only one that was actively talking to Katie. So it would make sense to tell Gina, because it'll get one way or another, it'll get around. And Gina doesn't keep secrets anyway.
Well, in the preview, it's like Gina doing more spreading of gossip. That's all she
Well, all
does.
Gina does is say, I brought Katie into this group and I feel so bad about it. It's like, first of all, I didn't realize you were a producer on the show. I didn't realize you were a casting director. Like, shut up at this point.
Let's talk about
Let's talk
let's talk
about,
about the birthday party and let's talk
yes.
about how some of these women speak on each other's appearances.
Okay, but
And let's
before
start
you're,
with
hold on,
Katie
you completely skipped the beginning of the episode that they were literally like teasing. And I know
because
why you're
that's all
skipping it.
I'm skipping it. Here's why I'm skipping it. Because it was a nothing burger. It didn't
No,
nothing came
it
of
was
it.
a nothing burger, but it was still classless that she thought she was
How is
gonna
it
bring.
classless?
She brought this ex-wife who because she wanted some big moment, and she's
No.
playing with these people's lives. These are real people who went through a real divorce, who had a real
She's a real
tragedy.
okay, they're like actually friends though. She brought her friend to a dinner to
I
keep
understand
her
that she's
on her
friends with
better
her.
behavior because this psycho guy named Brian keeps threatening to sue her. So she's like, I just need to be chilled out and bring my friend. And she checked with Heather, the host, beforehand, said, can I bring this specific person? Is that okay? And Heather said, yes, of course. So it's not a big deal at all. And
It
if
is a
you,
big
as a
deal.
grown up, can't handle seeing your ex in a mutual event, then you are the issue, Slade. If you can't act civil, and Gretchen, if it bothers you that much to see the person, no one is more entitled to be somewhere than another person is.
The problem was that she did it with the intention to cause harm onto other
I didn't
people.
know you're a mind reader.
That
I
was
didn't know
why
you
else
read
would she
minds.
do it? She's never brought Joe on camera for the time that she's been on the
Also,
show.
also, Gretchen's all like, clearly she's not willing to move forward. No, that's
She's
because you told her right away that you have no interest in trying to move forward. Gretchen, you told her you don't.
but Tamra likes to say that she wants to move forward, but then continuously does stuff that would
But Gretchen set the
contradict
tone.
that.
Gretchen set the tone. All right. That's all I have to say. We gotta move a little quick because my earbuds are gonna die.
Oh my God.
I forgot to charge them.
So let's talk about
Let's talk about the mean girls, Emily and Gina.
okay. I thought that for Emily to just have a season where she is rightfully upset because she feels she is being othered for her size, or she feels like triggered because she got the size 12 jacket, and then to talk about Gretchen's physical appearance in a rude way. I feel like that was not a good look for her. And it shows like she is a mean girl because it
Well,
was
I agree 100%. But what about the whole Katie thing with the sandwich to Shannon? Shannon clearly got upset by that remark. Shannon got up.
Shannon was
Katie was
probably
like,
triggered
oh,
because
she
of the
left
whole.
her grilled cheese.
Well, Katie said that because I don't think she meant it in a fat shaming way. I'm sure Shannon took it that way, especially since on the same platform when Kelly Dodd said, keep eating, and
Yeah.
then Shannon throws the plate. This isn't
It's
my
like, it's
fucking
not
plate, you
my
bitch.
plate. Yeah.
So I'm sure that triggered Shannon, but I don't think that was what Katie meant to do. Whereas Emily and
I
Gina
actually
are purposefully speaking about her physical appearance in a
I
negative
actually
way.
agree. I think Katie was just commenting on how she just got up in
She
a puff.
physically
Like,
left the sandwich. Yeah.
yeah, like she didn't take the time to compose herself. She just left. So I
Yeah.
agree, actually. My mic sucks. Okay, so that's the birthday. It's finally over.
And speaking of
I have a
physical appearances, we move eventually into Gina's boring realtor scene. And
mm-hmm.
she's dressed like a grandma,
Oh my God, what
but
did I write
she's
about this? I said,
she's gonna talk about someone else's looks.
Gina, this dress is so ugly as usual. I literally wrote that down.
It was a bad look.
It was. After this episode, actually, I don't really stand by this so anymore. I
Please
wrote this
say
at the
it.
beginning. After watching this, I wrote this after like being 30 seconds into the episode. I didn't actually
Okay.
watch the whole episode, so I
After
don't.
watching the episode 30 seconds in,
But I literally wrote that. I said, after this episode, I think Jen will switch back to being friends with Tamara after the season ends so that she could stay on next season because otherwise I think they're going to fire her.
I think after this episode, I think I'm over Jen. I think
I'm
it's time
way
for her
over
to go.
Jen, and that's why I think she's going to switch sides again
I
so that she could stay
someone
on.
Yeah, someone did point out online that all Jen talks about is Tamra, and
It's
I agree.
Tamara.
I actually agree with that because no one else really does that. Except Gina talks about Katie all the fucking time. But no one else really talks about someone else like that. Even
Mm-mm.
Shannon doesn't do that.
No, Shannon doesn't talk about anyone unless you bring it up to her
I
credit.
know.
But
Um,
Brian is
so
scum. Tamara's 100% right about that. I'm just trying to read through my notes, but
me too.
they're
I have three I have three
illegible.
notes left.
I
So
have
let's
two
talk
pages
about
left.
Tamra talking about her child
Tamara's
once
not
again.
jealous of you, Jen. She has a home. She has a job. Her business makes money. She has multiple
Allegedly.
homes, Jen. You have zero. So
It's
no, she's
true.
definitely not jealous of you, Jen.
No, I don't think Tamara is jealous of Jen. And but I don't think Jen is trying to be Tamara.
Oh
And
yeah. Well,
I think
I think she was trying to be Tamara in the sense of she wanted to be a housewife. But now that she is a housewife, she doesn't like want to actively like live the way Tamara's living. She just wanted to be on the show. That's my impression of the whole thing. And she knew Tamara, so that was her way of getting on the show.
we gotta pause. I lost my AirPod.
Are you being fucking for real? I'm just gonna keep talking then while you look for it. So, um, there was a point in the episode where I started tearing up, and that was, of course, when Tamara was talking. My favorite is Tamara, and she was being revealing and talking about her life situation, something Timmy criticizes her as something she never does, but she was doing it, and she was talking about how it's hard for her that her daughter doesn't have like a relationship with her. And I just feel bad for Tamara because it's like when you have Dr. Laura always says when you have three kids, sometimes one just doesn't turn out right.
She
And
has
there's
four
like,
kids.
okay, it doesn't matter how many kids you have. Three, Dr. Laura says three.
Okay, fuck
Okay.
Dr. Laura, but also I'm so glad you brought this up. If my
No,
child
you don't get to just cut
said
me off. This
multiple
is
times to stop talking about me on national television, I would never bring up that child or their name ever again, personally.
but she didn't talk about her. She was talking
Yes,
about
she did.
she didn't like describe her life.
She said her name,
She
Sydney,
says we don't have a
that she left
relationship.
she said she left when she was 14 and she never came back. And then she proceeded to say that
Okay.
it's really hard when your child doesn't talk to you.
Okay.
Well, we
What's
know
wrong with
one of the
that?
reasons why she doesn't.
Okay, but that doesn't matter. You don't know you don't know everything that goes on in her
I
family,
said
even if you
one.
think you do. Exactly, but
I
there could be
said,
more to the story,
of
and you're just
course.
so judgmental.
I am, because isn't that the point to judge them?
You judge one, but not the other.
Who am I not judging?
You never judge Shannon, and you never judge Katie.
Because I see it objectively. I don't think they've ever done anything objectively wrong. That's like
That's crazy.
to the point where I need to hate on them because I don't think they
Let's
have
move
done
on to
anything
someone
too
that
terrible
deserves
yet.
hatred.
Who? Uh,
Jaina.
okay, I don't even know what you're going to talk about with Gina. I don't know if this was before or after my notes.
This is the part where they're at lunch. Uh, Gina, Katie, and Heather. They're talking about the birthday party.
Okay.
I just think Gina is so shitty to Katie and I hate it. And I
They're
think
all
Gina's a
shitty to
horrible
Katie.
person. I think Gina
They're all
especially.
they're all shitty to Katie, and Gina and Emily are the ringleaders behind it.
So at this lunch, they talk about. So Heather says, "Oh, Matt just shouldn't get involved, like for his." And I agree, like for his benefit, he shouldn't get involved. Um, and I think, they talk about the whole Kiki thing. Do you have
Mm-hmm.
something to comment on that?
No.
My takeaway is like, there's nothing wrong with Katie being friends with this Kiki person. I don't personally see an
Okay.
issue with it, but I do think that at the same time, Katie is a proven liar, and so I can understand why they don't trust her. But like, if it's just a friendship, it is just a friendship. But like, if she is, I see it both ways with the situation. But I think like they're kind of like grasping at straws.
They are grasping at straws, but also bloggers aren't friends with them. They might think they're friends, but I don't think they're actually friends.
So you think Katie's in the wrong?
I don't think she's in the wrong. I think she thinks these bloggers are her friends, but they're not actually her friends. And but I also want to point out that you could argue half the cast are bloggers because they all have podcasts where they talk about the show. So it's really like you're just it's just a whole grasping at straws, nothing. Just let's be mad at Katie for the sake of it.
So then they say like Katie thinks that she's like that like she wants to be in a better place with Gina and she thinks Gina's great, all that. And to that I say, Gina is not great. She's tricking you, Katie. She's a
Well, it's
liar.
because
She's trying to sabotage you.
Gina's the only one that's on semi good terms with Katie other than Jen, so she has to take what she can get. But she
But she's
doesn't
doing
probably
it as
she doesn't
a
know that
farce to sabotage her later
I
on.
know. I
Gina
know.
has no interest in actually
I
reconciling with
know.
Katie.
I am aware I could see the confessionals, but Katie doesn't know that.
And I think that's so disgusting. So then let's get to the discussion between Tamara and Jen.
Yes.
I thought it was watching this upset me because they clipped it down so much that it's like they just
Mm-hmm.
got like the to where there was nothing at all in this dinner. It's like they had a few blow up moments, but it's like they give me the full dinner. Give me the full conversation. I feel like if we saw the full picture on both sides, we could see that they probably have more common ground than anger at each other. But like they just left like the main stuff in on both sides. We don't
They
even
were
know
both
to the point like we don't even know what led to each like you could tell like each comment did not directly follow the previous one. So we don't even know like
well because they
what
both
they're
blew
like
up out of
responding to.
nothing. They both got really angry really quick. So it was
Right.
like
And
it
that's like
it
that's
I
not real
wrote down that
life.
like Tamra was really hostile just because it seemed that way based on how she was the first, in my opinion, to really escalate it, which is ironic because she
She
said
was
she
the
would
first to start
follow.
escalating. However, you could tell that she was not directly responding to the thing Jen just said. Like you could tell they clipped it and she was responding to something else and that conversation was going on longer before she escalated it. So that's why I'm saying like what was said, what was being said before they both blew
Well,
up.
after a while, it was clear that neither of them had the intention to go and make amends. They just wanted to say what they wanted to say, and they did not have any intention of
Well, I think
rekindling a
the issue
friendship with
is,
the
yeah,
other.
I think that Tamara didn't even want to be there. And you could tell that from the moment she sat down, she didn't
Well, you
really
could
want to
tell that she
be
hates
there. And you
her.
could tell Jen just wanted to like speak at Tamara and she didn't have
Well, they
like
both
a,
wanted to just speak at the other,
yeah, but
I
I think
think.
if you're going to invite someone for lunch and you are not going to try to amend things, you just want to like speak at them, then you have to anticipate that that's not going to go well.
And then at the end, when Jen is petting the dog and the dog is like sniffing her hair or chewing her hair or whatever, and then she's like, "It's my real hair, not Tamra's." I just saw like that was really weird. It was like, who was that for? The camera? Because they don't know who Tamra is. Those dog and the man or woman.
I don't even
There's,
remember what scene you're talking
it was at the
about.
very end of the episode.
My last comment is Jen has the problem. You don't have to be Judge Judy to tell she's fucking lying. I think Jen is being dishonest about a lot of things.
Jen is definitely giving vibes that she is like uh changing the truth to fit her narrative. I think
Right.
she does that for a lot of different aspects. Her life,
Yeah.
things that happened with Katie, and now it's making me question her side of the story when it comes to Tamra. However, I really don't like Tamra, so unfortunately, I am still Team Jen, but I am starting to question her reliability as a narrator.
Yeah. But I guess we'll see. More to come next week. Or we're dropping this
Or
episode late.
not necessarily
So
next week, in
more
a
to
few
come
days.
tonight and then a few days. Yeah. But so that's all we have. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to. Oh, so yeah. So that's it for our Orange County recap this time. Catch us back on track Saturday for episode 5. Hopefully, we get a vacation coming up soon. Hopefully, my favorite moments are when they're like traveling out and about and like doing activities and like just having fun. Like, I think there needs to be more of a mix of fun and drama because if it's all a bunch of yelling conversation, yelling conversation, yelling conversation, it feels too orchestrated.
Um, I mean, they usually do a trip pretty soon, I would think. They usually do like one in the beginning and one at the end. And if we're lucky, they'll do one in the middle. But
Because also these trips are what makes it feel that like they're actually a friend group and can have the capability of getting along, you know? If all
well,
they're
the
doing is
trips are
going to
nice.
parties
Yeah.
and yelling at each other, then it's just a bunch of women that truly don't like being around each other. Versus like they have to semi be civil on a vacation. I mean, even though they always go unhinged towards the end, but like, you
I feel
know.
like their trips are usually good. They usually get along on the trips.
That's what I'm saying. And I enjoy the trips. And you kind of get like candid conversations about things that aren't like drama filled, but they're just like talking about stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's that for that. See ya.
Bye.